theory about Charlie Brown. After all, science has shown that a person's character isn't truly established until they're at least 5 years old.
But I am 5. I'm more than 5.
Oh well, that's the way it goes.
The only thing wrong with my big brother Charlie Brown is his lack of confidence. Well, his inferiority and his lack of confidence. Oh, his clumsiness, his inferiority and his lack of confidence. Oh, his stupidity, his clumsiness, his inferiority, and his lack of confidence. His attitude, his clumsiness.
Did you know that Charlie Brown has never pitched a winning baseball game, never been able to keep a kite in the air, never won a game of checkers, or never successfully punted a football? Sometimes I marvel at his consistency.
I think Charlie Brown has nice hands. It's truly a dog's life, filled with many challenges. You drag me excited when that round-headed kid comes home from school.
Now, Linus, I want you to take a good look at Charlie Brown's face. Would you please hold still a minute, Charlie Brown? I want Linus to study your face. Now, this is what you would call a failure face. Notice how it has failure written all over it. Study it carefully. You rarely see such a good example. Notice the deep lines, the dull, vacant look in his eyes. Yes, I would say this is one of the finest examples of a failure face that your life would see for a long while.
Some days I have to wake up early to watch the sunrise, and I think how beautiful it all is, and how my life lies before me. And I get a very positive feeling about things. Like this morning, for instance, the sky is so clear, the sun so bright. How can anything go wrong on a day like this? But wait!
people. I must admit, however, that I do not know much about it. I wasn't here when it happened.
I think lunchtime is about the worst time of the day for me. Always having to sit here, alone. Of course, sometimes mornings aren't so pleasant either. Waking up and wondering if anyone would really miss me if I never got out of bed. Then there's the night too. Lying there, thinking about all the stupid things I've done during the day. And all those hours in between where I do all those stupid things. Well, lunchtime is among the worst time of the day. Well, I guess I'd better see what I got. Peanut butter. Some psychiatrists say that people who eat peanut butter sandwiches are lonely. I guess they're right. When you're really lonely, peanut butter gets stuck to the roof of your mouth. Boy, the Alumni Association sure did a good job of painting these benches. There's that cute little redheaded girl eating her lunch over there. I wonder what she would do if I went over and asked if I can sit and have lunch with her. She'd probably laugh right in my face. It's hard on the face when it gets laughed at. There's an empty place next to her on the bench. There's no reason why I couldn't go over there and sit there. I could do that right now. All I gotta do is stand up. I'm standing up. I'm sitting down. I'm a coward. I'm so much of a coward, she wouldn't even think of looking at me. She hardly ever does look at me. As a matter of fact, I can't remember her ever looking at me. Why shouldn't she look at me? Is there any reason in the world why she shouldn't look at me? Is she so great and I'm so small that she can't spare one little moment? She's looking at me. She's looking at me!
No, Sally, you're thinking of the other dress, the one I wore to Lucinda's party. The one I'm talking about was a very light blue one, had a design embroidered around the waist.
I don't remember.
Something like this, and the skirt went out like this, and it had big puffy sleeves and a sash like this.
Oh, yes, I remember.
Yes, well that was the dress I was wearing last week when I met Frida, and she said she'd seen one just like it over there.
Lunchtime is among the worst time of the day for me. If that little redheaded girl sees me with this stupid bag on my head, he must think I'm the biggest fool alive. But if she isn't looking, maybe I can take it off quickly. I should never notice. On the other hand, I can't tell if she's looking until I take it off. Then again, if I never take it off, I would never have to know if she was looking or not. On the other hand, it's very hard to breathe in here. She's not looking at me. I wonder why she never looks at me. Oh well, one lunch hour over with. Only 2,863 to go. All I need is one more try. Gonna get that kind of fly. And I'm not that kind of guy. Gives up easily.
You're a good man. You're a good man.
Do you know something, Schroeder? I think the way you play the piano is nice. Do you know something else? play something nice like April showers? I'm sure you could play something nice like April showers. Or even Frere Jacques. Beethoven's nice too. Just imagine, what would you think if someday you and I should get married? Wouldn't you like that if someday we two should get married? My Aunt Marian was right. Never try to discuss marriage with a musician.
Happiness is a fleeting thing, Sally. But I think that a man can really come closer to it by directing the forces of his life towards a single goal that he believes in. And I think that a man's personal search for happiness is not really a selfish thing either, because by achieving happiness himself, he can help others to find it as well. Does that make sense to you?
We had spaghetti at our house 3 times this week.
You know, a princess sort of thing. A white dress and nice slippers and a big ballroom. But I guess that's sort of silly, isn't it, Charlie Brown?
No, not at all. I mean, we all have our little daydreams or ambitions or whatever you want to call them. I mean, I've had them myself for years, but I've never told anyone.
What, Charlie Brown? You can tell me.
Oh, no. It's not a story I should tell. No, I don't think I should.
Oh, come on. I can give it away. Come on, please.
Well, I've always wanted to be called Flash. I hate the name Charlie. I like to be real athletic and have everyone call me Flash. I'd be so good at everything and all around school I'd be known as Flash.
Hey, Marina, listen to this!
What's the matter, Sally?
Well, I don't know. I was jumping rope and everything was all right, and then suddenly, it all seemed so futile.
Beethoven used to love to take long walks in the country. He was always inspired by the beautiful sounds of the countryside. Beethoven had it nice.
I think I'm losing my flavor.
Hey, Snoopy, we're home from school. Hi, little fella. Gosh, it's so good to see you.
Oh, Snoopy, you're so adorable.
Well, Snoopy, back in your doghouse. I'll be out later with your supper.
I think Snoopy's such a wonderful dog.
Me too. He's just about the best there is.
They like me. I think they're swell. Isn't it remarkable how things turn out so well? Pleasant day, pretty sky, life goes on. Here I lie, not bad, not bad at all. Cozy home, board and bread. claws, which are usually cold and occasionally painful. And sometimes they're just so many that I can hardly stand it. Rats. I feel every now and then that I have bite someone. I know every now and then what I want to be. A fierce jungle lad, perched on the limb of a tree. La 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 la. I stay very, very still till I see a victim come. I wait knowing very well every second counts. And then like a fierce jungle creature I am, I would pounce. I pounce. I pounce. I never realized it was so far down to the ground from up here. Let me see. Where was I? Well, that's right. Not bad. Not bad at all. Cozy home, board and bread, sturdy roof. But in my head, not bad at all. Not bad at all. I wonder if it'll snow tonight.
I think I'll walk right up to that little redhead girl and introduce myself. I think I'll introduce myself. Then I think I'll ask her to come and sit next to me. I think I'll ask her to come sit by me. Then I think I'll tell her how much I've always admired her. I think I'm gonna flap my arms and fly to the moon.
Yesterday, I was a dog. Today, I'm a dog. Tomorrow, I'll probably still be a dog. There's just so little room for advancement.
Today is April Fool's Day, Charlie Brown. I think I'll play a little trick on you. I think I'll try a little trick. You understand what I'm saying, don't you? You understand this is April Fool's Day. You're sure? I want to be certain you understand, okay? Hey, guess what? That little red-haired girl's over there, and she wants to give you a hug and a kiss.
Really? Wow, fantastic!
April Fool! Like shooting fish in a barrel.
Snoopy, do you see this stick? I, the human being, will throw the stick, and you, the dog, will retrieve it.
I, the dog, could not be less interested.
I got it!
You give me back my blanket.
No, I got it. I'm going to keep it. This is just the start you need to help you break this disgusting habit.
Apparently, you haven't read the latest scientific reports. A blanket is as important to a child as a hobby is to an adult. Many a man spends his time restoring antique automobiles, building model trains, collecting old telephones, or even studying about the Civil War. This is called playing with the past.
Really?
Certainly. And this is good, for it helps these men to cope with their everyday problems. Now, I feel it's going to be absolutely necessary for me to get my blanket back. So I'm just going to give it a nice yank. It's amazing what you can accomplish with a little smooth talking and some fast action. Got you back again. Delightful. Sucking your thumb without a blanket is like eating a cone without ice cream. My blanket and me.
You gotta see this. Look at my little baby brother Linus with his little baby blanket.
There's your little baby brother with his silly little blanket.
Well, you know how babies are with their blankets.
What do you mean? It's a cozy sanctuary, but it's far from necessary, cause I'm just as self-reliant as before. As a simple demonstration of my independent station, I will go and leave my blanket on the floor. Yes, I'll walk away and leave it, though I know you won't believe it. I'll just go and leave my blanket on the floor. La 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 la. Yes, I'll walk away and leave it on. Don't ever let me do that again.
You're a hopeless case, Linus.
I thought I could do it. I actually thought I could do it. quite sure. A person can only become queen if they're born into a royal family of the correct lineage, so they can assume the throne after the death of the reigning monarch. I don't see any possible way that you can become a queen. I'm sorry, Lucy, but it's true.
And in the summertime, I will go to my summer palace, and I'll wear my crown and swimming and everything, and all the people will cheer, and I will shout at them. What do you mean I can't be queen?
It's true.
There must be a loophole. This kind of thing always has a loophole. Nobody should be kept from being queen if she wants to be one. It's undemocratic.
Good grief.
Usually, it's just a matter of knowing the right people. I've read a few pieces of well-placed correspondence, and I can be queen in no time.
I think I'll watch television.
I know what I'll do. If I can't be queen, then I'll be very rich. I will work and work until I'm very rich, and then I will buy myself a queendom.
Good grief.
Yes, I will buy myself a queendom, and I'll kick out the old queen and take over the whole operation myself. I will be head queen. Oh, so, okay, switch channels.
Are you kidding me? I'm not one of your royal subjects. What makes you think you can just come in here and take over?
These 5 fingers, individually, they are nothing. But when I curl them together into a single unit, they become a fighting force terrible to behold.
Yes, Your Majesty. Why can't you guys get organized like that?
Supper time?
Not yet.
Supper time?
Not yet!
I got a C on my coat hanger project? How could anyone get a C on a coat hanger project? May I ask a question? Was I being judged on the piece of sculpture itself? If so, is it not true that time alone can judge a work of art? Or was I being judged on my talent? If so, is it right that I be judged on a part of my life which I have absolutely no control? If I was being judged on my effort, then I was judged unfairly, for I tried as hard as I could. Was I being judged on what I had learned about this project? If so, then were not you, my teacher, being judged on your ability to translate your knowledge to me? Are you willing to share my seed? Perhaps I was being judged on the quality of coat hanger itself, out of which my creation was made. Now, is this also not unfair? Am I to be judged by the quality of coat hangers used by the dry cleaning establishments that return our garments? Is that not the responsibility of my parents? Should they share my seed? Thank you, Mrs. Othmar. The squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Today's my grandfather's birthday.
How old is he?
63. It's hard to believe he was once a human being.
Why do I always have my supper in the red dish and my drinking water in the yellow dish? One of these days, I'm going to have my supper in the yellow dish and my drinking water in the red dish. What? Too short, have to live it up a little.
Schroeder, do piano players make a lot of money?
Money? Who cares about money? This is art, you blockhead. This is great music I'm playing, and playing great music is an art. Do you hear me? An art! 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 Art!
You fascinate me. What? What? What?
Call the principal and hand him the news. We got a holiday.
The eldest of 3 sons, Luke's mother was the daughter of the chief overseer of the kitchen at the palace.
Whatever, Schroeder, I just want you to know that I'm on your side. I'm going to help you publicity-wise with Beethoven's birthday.
Thanks for your support, but I just don't want to see Beethoven's birthday commercialized.
Commercialized?
Yes, next thing you know, they'll be wearing Beethoven t-shirts.
Beethoven Day.
If you're wondering how to start, just go to music till you know it by. We're gonna celebrate with the party. Beethoven's birthday.
Beethoven Day.
And when you sing the title,
Beethoven Day.
you'll hear a great recital. Alright, alright, boy, girl, stand up and say,
Hooray, Beethoven, hooray.
Beethoven Day. Beethoven Day.
Beethoven Superstore.
We'll build a Beethoven-themed park.
We could have a bake sale!
Wait! That's too commercial! Let's imagine that glorious hour, filled with emotion, yet inspired with power, when we all honor the man we adore. On the day we place the newest face on Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore. Beethoven Day.
A moment of reflection.
Beethoven Day.
A passing thought and action. So facing this direction we begin.
Beethoven
All
Day.
of the collection, everybody
It's
play.
Beethoven
No matter where you are, girls, stand up and say, hooray!
Time to celebrate Beethoven Day. La 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 la. Hooray! All right, everybody out for rabbit chasing.
Oh, good grief.
Come on, Snoopy, up and at 'em. It's a magnificent day for chasing rabbits. The sky is clear, the sun is shining, the fields and woodlands lie open and inviting.
If it's such a magnificent day, then why spoil it for the rabbits?
Come on, Snoopy. Where's your spirit of adventure? Where's your thrill of the chase? What kind of dog are you anyway?
I am a sleeping dog. You take it from there.
You should be ashamed of yourself, wasting a beautiful day like this. The sun is shining, the scent is fresh. Let's get out there and track us down a big old rabbit.
Well, I get the feeling she's determined. If that's what she wants, she might as well get her money's worth.
Attaboy, Snoopy. We ought to see lots of game today.
all you want to do is lean your head on your arm and stare into space. Sometimes this can go on for hours. If you're unusually depressed, you may have to switch arms.
Schroeder, what'd you do with that picture of me I gave you?
I threw it away. Of course.
He touched my picture!
This has been a bad time for me. Maybe if I'm lucky, tomorrow will be a better day.
In some parts of the world, tomorrow is today, and today is yesterday. If tomorrow is already today, Charlie Brown, there's no way tomorrow could be a better day.
You're a lot of fun to have around.
Chasing rabbits, 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 chasing rabbits.
Rabbits?
Book report on Peter Rabbit, Peter Rabbit, Peter Rabbit.
Book report on Peter Rabbit.
Peter Rabbit is a stupid book about the stupid rabbit with some vegetables and other people's gardens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 83 to go.
The name of the book about which this book report is about is Peter Rabbit, which is about this rabbit. I found it very. I like the part where it was it reminded me of Robin Hood.
And the part where Little John jumped from the sheriff from down Amsterdam. And a robin and everyone slipped to the trees and a sudden surprise attack. And they come to the sheriff and all those goods and they carried him back to the camp. And the woods and the sheriff was sent to the dinner and all. Then he wriggled away and he sounded the call and his pen rushed in the air was flew. Peter Rabbit did sort of that kind of thing too.
The other people say it was a prayer. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
In examining works such as Peter Rabbit, it is important that the superficial characteristics of its deceptively simple plot should not be allowed to blind the reader to the more substantial fabric of its deeper motivations. In this report, I plan to discuss the sociological implications of family pressure so great as to drive an otherwise moral rabbit to perform acts of thievery which he consciously knew were against the law. I also hope to explore the personality of Mr. McGregor in his conflicting roles as farmer and humanitarian. Peter Rabbit is established from the start as benevolent.
If I start writing now when I'm not really rested, it could upset my thinking, which is no good at all. I'll get a fresh start tomorrow, and it's not due to Wednesday, so I'll have all of Tuesday, unless something should happen. Why does this always happen? I should be out and playing, getting fresh air and sunshine. I work best under pressure, and there'll be lots of pressure if I wait till tomorrow. I should start writing now, but if I start writing now when I'm not really rested, it could upset my thinking, which is no good at all.
The name of the rabbit was Peter. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, yes!
Down came the snap on his head smash, and Robin laughed like a sack full of light grass. The sheriff laughed and
Just like rabbits who run a lot, as you can tell from the story of Peter Rabbit, which this report is about.
Rabbits, 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 chasing rabbits.